Hello, everybody. Today we're going to start this episode talking about AntMan Quantumania with our favorite quote from the movie, where Scott says...
No, it wasn't Scott.
Who was it?
It was Cassie.
Was it Cassie?
It was.
Where Cassie says, "What's coming?"
Me. All of me.
Anyway, welcome to For the Love of Film 2.0. I am your co-host, Alicia Lucas.
And I'm your other co-host, Kenny the Conqueror.
Nope, this is our co-host, Garrett, and it's his birthday today. Oh, I'm falling over.
I'm turning 22.
He turned 22 today.
Birthday the day of filming, not the day it's releasing. So wish me a happy belated birthday in the comment section down below. Because I didn't get it in today.
Yeah, how could you? How could you not anticipate this and then wish him happy birthday?
Via something.
Yeah.
Could have done something for me, right?
Really, honestly, I'm disappointed in you guys. I did it.
She did it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, we're not that mad. We're just disappointed.
Anyway, so today we are going to be talking about AntMan Quantumania, which came out this past weekend on the 17th of February, 2023.
Came out Friday. It's Wednesday. About a week ago, if you're watching it tomorrow, which is the day that it'll release. This episode.
That's still this past weekend.
Yeah, I know. I'm just clarifying.
Okay, fine. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Oh, right. All right. So the movie had a budget of $200 million, and just in this past week in the box office, it has reached $276.7 million.
Some would say that's pretty good, but typically with budgets, they don't take into account marketing. So we usually use the 2x rule, 2x rule, which means they probably spent about $400 million on this.
Wow.
That's probably about their budget. It's usually the rule. At least that's the one I see online. So they haven't made their money back just yet. Probably a flop for them.
They probably will eventually, but barely.
Yeah. Maybe with some Disney Plus subscriptions. Although I don't know who's going to subscribe to Disney Plus to see this, but we'll get into that later.
They're going to subscribe to Disney Plus anyway. But anyway.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of trouble today with our good friend Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes, what's up?
Yeah, let's see if it's back up. Because it's not working for Quantumania, but it was working for Cocaine Bear. Let's see. We'll check one more time for y'all. Oh, look at that. I knew it was worth it. Although it might not be.
Still not working, really?
Still not working, really. Yeah, we don't have scores. We have. They might have just. I don't know. It seems like they don't have for a lot of them, which is weird.
Yeah, I guess.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, when we last checked, the tomato meter online on Rotten Tomatoes, what was it?
The critic rating was 46%, and the audience rating was unknown because we could only see like the little description that Google gave us. But we looked at IMDb, and they had
audience-based.
Which is an audience-based score, yeah, and they had a 6.6 out of 10, so a 66% basically.
Yeah. High in both regards?
Oh, come on.
I mean...
No, okay, no. It was bad, but it's not as bad as Eternals.
Okay,
I'm riding with that. I am holding that to the deepest part of me. It is not as bad as Eternals. I don't think I would say it's as bad as Thor: Love and Thunder. I think I would say it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder. If we have to put it somewhere, it's better than Thor: Love and Thunder.
Might be as good as Thor: Love and Thunder. I think they're comparable.
If you had to pick one.
I like Thor better, but I'd probably watch this movie again, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Thor better, though.
I like Kang better.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, and Thor wasn't even like... Thor didn't carry that movie enough for me to want to watch it again.
That's fair. I don't know, though. Ant-Man didn't really carry this movie. Ant-Man's a supporting man. Ant-Man's a supporting character.
Kang carried it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
not his actor, not a whole lot of stuff, but mainly like the plot points surrounding him were interesting up until the end.
We got some spoilers coming up, but
anyway,
just
as a general plot. Obviously, we start off post Endgame, kind of seeing Ant-Man for the first time since Endgame. This is the first time we're seeing him since Endgame?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And, well, I mean, we see that he has, you know, he's probably progressed in a way that's healthier compared to all of the other Avengers.
Yeah.
Especially Spider-Man.
Ooh. That's rough.
Or also Thor. Like, Thor just found his ex-girlfriend again, so I don't know if you see that as healthy or unhealthy.
And then she died.
And then she died, so
that's a little rough.
Yeah.
No one died in this movie. I thought we were going to see the death of AntMan at the end there. Thought we were going to see
I'm glad we didn't. He hasn't had enough Avengers, like,
Oh
biz.
my. If we start at the start of this movie, their whole family got me upset. Oh, AntMan, you haven't done enough recently.
Wait, we haven't. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's talk about
general plot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just said we started off where Scott Lang, the Ant-Man, has made a book.
A book?
A book.
And his family's very upset about it?
His family's not very upset about it. They are supportive, but just like, kind of like, really?
A book?
A book?
Which is like, what? I do not like.
Okay, hold on. I need you to take a deep breath real quick because you're getting on the hate train right now instead of talking about the movie objectively, okay?
Objectively?
Objectively.
That guy looks, what the heck? Is that a filter? Oh no, I'm gonna feel so bad if that's not a filter. Please. Oh no, it is.
It's not.
No, it is.
It's not.
No, it's not. Alright. Cool. I don't even know who he played.
Humanoid.
Humanoid? That's okay.
Anyway, guys.
Anyway.
So, cast consists of bringing it back again, Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. We again have Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne. Who else?
New member to the cast?
New member to the cast.
Catherine
Newton as Cassandra.
Cassie Lang.
Scott's daughter. Which, again, random cast change between Endgame and now.
Did you say Jonathan Majors?
Oh, right. Jonathan Majors as King the Conqueror.
He's been in some stuff.
He's been in some stuff.
Let's see, what has he been in?
Creed? Oh, he's going to be in Creed. Oh, isn't he playing the...
He's
no,
the villain
he's
in
not
Creed.
in Creed. Is he in Creed? Is the villain in Creed?
Creed 3.
Is he the villain in it?
I'm not sure. I've not seen any
I can't
trailers for
remember if it was him.
It's
He was in Loki, obviously.
Yeah, Lovecraft Country, I saw him in an advertisement for that. He was in that movie about the first black Air Force pilot, Devotion.
I see.
Yep.
But yeah, so colorful cast we have there. Not really, but kind of.
Not really.
I didn't mean it like that when I said it, and then I was like, haha, that's... Anyway, so now we're gonna get into spoiler section. We're just gonna go right in.
Go on.
Yeah, so go if you haven't seen it. Unless you want to stay and you don't care.
We'll give you a couple seconds. Please don't care. It's fine. Just watch this.
Yeah, just honestly, you don't have to watch it.
The end of this movie is exactly like the beginning. Nothing's changed. If you've watched Loki, you know all the things you need to know. And you can miss this terrible, terrible movie. Although I did like one part of it.
There were a few... Okay, listen. The movie is not as bad as The Eternals. And you know, we completely hated The Eternals. Is it The Eternals or is it Eternals?
I think
Eternals.
it's Eternals.
Either way, we hated it. And we also kind of gave Thor: Love and Thunder a lot of crap. I wouldn't give this one as much crap. I see a lot of positive notes in this, but it's because I'm looking for them, not because they landed in my lap like they should.
Yeah.
So, anyway, bye. Hi. Hello, spoiler crew. I mean, yeah, I guess let's just start from the beginning.
Issues with Act 1.
Issues with Act 1.
Oh my... What have you done for the world lately? Bro saved half the universe.
Hold on. To be fair, you are saying this from the YouTube video that friend number 2 sent us.
No, I thought that in the moment.
I know, but like...
He saved half the life in the universe. And his daughter is just like, I went to a peaceful protest and what, she shrunk a police car?
Okay. Here's my thoughts about that. The Avengers when they were with S.H.I.E.L.D., when they were not with S.H.I.E.L.D., were constantly, like, in between the movies, they were doing other things. They were going to Hydra bases, they were knocking them down, they were looking for the scepter, they were doing this, they were doing that, they had other jobs to do. Ant-Man doesn't have any of those things. So Cassie, growing up with that idea in her head of what the Avengers are supposed to look like and seeing her dad not doing that, might be kind of weird for her. She was being a total brat about it. Like, she was being annoying.
Everyone was at the table.
I don't think everyone's being that mean about it, but the fact that they weren't saying anything bothered me a lot.
I did. I was like,
she was being extremely disrespectful to Scott, just basically like, yeah, Dad, you haven't done anything. Like, you literally aren't doing anything. There are people out there, blah, 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 like, struggling, and
He was instrumental in Endgame of bringing back half the population of the world. And what, not the world, the universe, people he doesn't even know, people he'll never see. That's from the video. That line's from the video.
Yeah, that is a line.
But what I was thinking in the movie, I'll try and get off of that video. What I was thinking in the movie is like, as far as positive effect on the universe has gone, what have you done, Cassie?
She's trying to do small things.
Small things? He saved half the life of the universe, and you're like,
Garrett.
oh, Dad,
Garrett.
you haven't done anything this hour, this minute,
right.
this second.
Right. It's okay.
He's also inspiring people with his book.
Correct.
He's inspiring people with his book. I don't like Ant-Man that much, but I'll stand up to him for, like, Cassie's just being mean.
Right. Why don't you like Ant-Man?
He's just kind of like a supporting role. I feel like he can't carry a movie, and this is just more proof of that.
Okay. I like his first movie. I'm going to stand by that. I like his first movie.
Yeah. Hope and Hank and
this movie would be so much better if Hope and Hank weren't in it. I'm going to say
this movie would be better without, like, a lot of characters in it, I feel like.
Cassie needed to be there, and I'm going to stand by that. I know she's annoying. I know that you guys don't like her, but she needed to be in this movie for it to work. She had to. Hope and Hank did not have to. Hank arguably because of the end, but Hope definitely not.
Cassie could have done what he did at the end. Cassie could have also, like, helped. Like, not been just a complete, like, nothing character, just a big old nothing
She
burger.
was not. She had things to do in the plot. She affected the plot in more ways than you want to give her credit for.
She rallied the troops, which that woman could have done. The woman that was actually part of the people.
Yes, I'm aware.
Could have done.
But the woman was the one who told her not to. Or sorry, the woman was the one who told Cassie to do it.
Yeah, because she was like fighting off the guards and stuff. But
Cassie couldn't do that. No, she couldn't. She's not a trained warrior. She's a little girl.
No.
No, you don't do that. No, I'm right.
She beat up all those guards. She beat up all those guards before. She beat up those guards. Yes, she did.
She got lucky. She got lucky. Those are all like a bunch of swarming guards with guns.
Yeah, she beat them up.
No.
She did.
She got very lucky.
Well,
she couldn't do it. Like,
maybe she was the one to rally the troops of people that she invaded.
She didn't invade them.
I mean.
Okay, see, this is what you do. You just say things, and you're like, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
She's like an alien to them.
Yeah,
they
but
don't
it's not like
her.
This is okay. Yes, they do. They really like her. The ones that have names. I don't know if they really have names. I didn't catch any of their names, but the ones who are like important, who we see over and over again, really like Cassie. They like Cassie more than Scott because Cassie was the one who originally tried to communicate with them.
I guess she just seems a bit like annoying, and
I agree with you, but she needed to be there for the plot.
Needed?
Yes, needed.
Her roles could have been easily usurped.
By whom?
By the warrior lady.
Not
that
that. Not that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Scott's whole motive. Scott's entire motive surrounds Cassie.
Could have been the girlfriend. What's her name? Hope?
No, it couldn't have. He doesn't, like, okay, I guess it could have, but that was the plot of Quantumania. Not Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So they're just going to replay the entire thing?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, it had to be Cassie. They're trying to introduce young Avengers, or like young superheroes. The MCU is... I'm sick of this. I'm so sick of this.
Here's what I'll say about Cassie.
She's annoying.
She's annoying. She needed to be there.
She did.
But they didn't give her any character development.
They didn't.
She's like annoying from start to finish. Like, don't be so disrespectful for your dad. Your dad had saved half the life in the universe.
I wish they had focused more on her saying, this is my fault. I wish that she had really, like, internalized that and changed her actions based off of that. She just, like, said it hugging him as he left and then didn't change a single thing after that.
Yeah.
That would have made the whole movie better.
From start to finish, she doesn't change as a character.
She doesn't. She's extremely static.
All these characters are pretty static.
All of them, yeah.
There's not a character that I think changed at all.
Mr. Electro Man.
MODOK?
MODOK.
Yeah, MODOK changed like at the very end.
Yeah, but that was such a lame...
I know.
MODOK in general, I didn't like him.
I like the design. I like that they went all the way.
I mean, it was alright, yeah. I mean, it was, funny.
Because MODOK is silly.
Yeah, it was funny, but it was just like... Also, was he the hunter that they were talking about? Because they made him out to be so scary, and then MODOK showed up, and I'm like, you have to be kidding. You have to be kidding.
No, MODOK is actually pretty deadly. In the comics, at least, he wasn't very deadly here.
They're trying to, I don't know. I
don't know what they're trying to do, honestly.
I don't, exactly.
I'm very confused by this movie.
Yeah.
The acting was stale. That was my worst gripe with it.
The acting was the worst part.
Bill Murray got a cameo in this movie, and he was phoning it in. And it was a cameo. I'm sure he, like, wanted to be there at some point in his life, but then read the script and was like, oh, I'm going to deliver every line like this. Like, oh, you wanted me to do this? Oh, I am human in every way that matters. Like, very flat. He's Bill Murray. You can't get a good performance out of Bill Murray? Really? Really? That guy? I mean, come on. He's got chops.
Also, Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd?
What the heck?
Very static.
Yeah.
Very bland. Very flat.
To be fair, I think a lot of it had to do with the writing. Because I know Paul Rudd is a good actor. Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer is Janet. Yeah, Janet's the worst actor out of all of them.
I can't, I don't understand that. Because Michelle Pfeiffer is,
she wasn't good in this. She was not good in this at all.
She wasn't good in this at all.
She didn't have a single moment where I was like, oh, this is like a character. It was always just Michelle Pfeiffer just phoning it in so lazily.
Yeah.
Painful. It was like painfully scraping by.
Yeah.
I was like, aren't you like an established, like well-established actress?
Yeah.
Like, act like
She's
it.
like 5'7". She seemed a lot taller.
I don't know. Maybe Hank, that guy who plays Hank, is short. Also, they didn't need to be divided at the first part. Like, they didn't need to be split up. That played no role at all.
Yeah.
They were split up for like 2 seconds, and then it's come together, having learned what they could have learned together.
Wait, who are you talking about?
The two parties, like with Hank and Janet and Hope, and then AntMan, Scott and Cassie. Like, they didn't need to be split up, because the only thing that happens is like, it sort of shortens the movie a little bit by splitting those scenes up, but they could have just gone together to both of those locations easily. Like, why were they split up? They just come together at one point and no one's like, oh, there you are. Like, no one even seems excited to see the other party. They're just like, all right, now that we're together. It's like, there's nothing to say like that they even cared that they were separated. They don't go looking for one another, really. Cassie's just like, let me save these people. Just because it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not happening, which, like, just, I get it.
It's a good point.
It's a good point, but it's kind of on the nose. It's pandering. I feel talked down to. You know what I mean? By this movie. By Cassie especially. That's been my main gripe. Some of her lines, I don't blame the actress. I blame the writing. But, some of her lines.
I like the actress. She's cute. A, she's cute. B, she's not that bad.
Yeah, I think she was probably one of the stronger actors out of it. But that's not saying much considering, she's like among a bunch of just terrible, terrible actors apparently in this movie. Oh, she was in Detective Pikachu. I liked her in Detective Pikachu.
She's cute. I think I like her. And I don't think I dislike Cassie. I think I dislike the way she was written. I think that Cassie herself can potentially be a very strong character. She just really needs to grow. Like, she needs to learn. She needs to be brought down to earth, and she needs to not rely on the fact that she
was in Dog with a Blog.
Huh?
She was in Dog with a Blog.
She really was.
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy. Disney kid. Anyway, also, why don't we just all, brush over the fact that Cassie built something that Hank Pym spent years and years and years building?
Yeah.
Trying to build? Like,
that doesn't seem earned.
No, not at all. Not at all. And this is from the video that we watched. Like, Iron Man, like, comparing, just in general, comparing mechanics in the MCU.
Or inventors.
Yeah, inventors need to work hard to learn the things that they're doing, but Cassie just does it.
Yeah.
We don't see any struggle. We don't see how long it took her. And I mean, this isn't that long since she came back, since she was back from the blip, right? This is maybe a year, maybe. That's pushing it, right?
Did she blip?
She did blip. Oh, no, she didn't blip.
She didn't blip.
She didn't blip. Damn.
She aged.
Dang.
Whoops. Connor's going to get on you for that one.
Sorry, Connor.
Ah, man, I hope he doesn't bring out the whip again.
Hey, Garrett!
It's my birthday. I get one, right? You get one joke. Connor. Just kidding.
Connor is very confused.
Connor's very confused.
No.
Oh, he's bringing the mic.
Oh.
Oh no. He's getting the siren out. Oh.
Wee woo.
Oh no.
Did you just fall?
No, he's cleaning up that chair.
Anyway,
That was an obscene gesture, Connor.
anyway.
I'm just messing with him now.
I forgot where we left off. Oh, yeah.
anymore.
Cassie's knowledge doesn't seem earned. You know what I wish? I wish that Cassie wasn't in a movie. I wish that she was in a show like Hawkeye. I didn't see Hawkeye. It probably sucked. I don't really want to know. But the way that, what's her face? I don't even know what her name is. Did you watch it? Oh, the way that the Hawkeye girl, like...
Girl Hawkeye
had to, like, suffer through an entire show where she learned and she probably failed a lot before learning things. I didn't see it, to be fair.
You can just say Shuri.
Huh?
Shuri.
Oh, Shuri. That's a really, really good example. Thank you.
You're
the way
welcome.
that Shuri had to struggle, she failed, she, like, fell apart, she almost killed someone, she almost went into the dark side, basically.
She had
But,
to confront her cousin
yeah.
in the afterlife.
What did you rate that movie?
I don't remember.
Did we talk about that movie here?
We did.
Okay.
I don't remember. I think I gave it like an 8.
Okay, good. But yeah, the way that happened should have happened with Cassie. That should have been like if the MCU is trying to bring about younger, like a new generation of heroes, that's the kind of change that we need to see. That's the kind of like character development that we need to see. And if it doesn't happen this movie, fine. It needs to happen eventually because I don't want you to make a waste out of Cassie's character because she's cute and I like her.
Very weak movie.
Very weak movie.
I mean, Kang,
We haven't
like,
even talked about Kang.
among the actors, like, whatever his name is, Jonathan Major, is the best, but, like, it feels like he's overacting because he's around a bunch of just bad performances. Just really bad performances. So every line that he delivers, you're like, oh, golly, that's so cringe. And they wrote him poorly, too. He's supposed to be this, like, domineering villain, and AntMan...
Thanos-level threat.
And AntMan beat him. He's killed sets and sets of Avengers. Like, are all the other Avengers and all the other multiverses, like, hella weak? Super weak, is what I meant to say.
Dang!
Man,
oh, man! Connor! Look at what he did!
What did I do?
You want to come at me. Can't come at me. I'm better.
What's coming?
Me. All of me.
Oh my gosh, the writing in this movie.
Anyway,
Cassie.
Yeah, don't complain about Cassie as much. Let's complain about how the disservice that the writers did to Kang. Because
Kang's
don't know
trash.
anything about the comics. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know much about the comics, but I remember back in like when we first met and we were like becoming friends and talking about the MCU and stuff, you and friend number 1 mentioned Kang. And I, since then, have been scared of him.
Oh, yeah.
Since then, because I was terrified of Thanos. Since then, I've been scared of Kang.
He's worse than Thanos.
Yeah, I know. I want him to be so much worse. I want him to like destroy everything and kill many people. And then I want the heroes to come and save the day after he does a bunch of bad stuff.
But he hasn't done a bunch of bad stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't done anything.
Maybe he has, but we just don't see it a whole lot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to us.
It's too big of stakes.
Yeah,
Not even. Like I said, it's not too big of stakes. It's that our perspective needs to change. We have this perspective that we had in Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Right, yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home had the exact same stakes as this movie. The destruction of the multiverse was at stake in Spider-Man No Way Home, if you remember correctly. And it doesn't feel like it. The whole movie doesn't feel like it because you're seeing it through Spider-Man's perspective. You're seeing him look up at this threat and go, oh my goodness, this is so insurmountable. What can I do in my microcosm of like the multiverse now to like help these individuals, you know? But in this movie, it's like, oh, that's a big threat. I'm just gonna beat it up.
I'm gonna stomp on it real quick.
I'm gonna stomp and stomp and stomp and beat until that big threat is just gone and I'm on top. And it's just like boom, 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 you know? And I'm giant now and I'm beating up Kang, who can't do anything. He's zapped.
Thanos level threat.
He zapped
Not
a bunch
my words,
of guys.
by the
He was
way.
zapping them with his little staff. Zap, 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 zap. And then the minute, like any named characters come on screen, he's like,
where'd my staff go?
Time to put this away. Fighting hand to hand now. Here's my force field. I'm sorry. Like, weren't you just zapping these characters that were way less of a threat, that were running away from you? Zapping them into obliteration. Like a second ago, you didn't even change camera angles. And boom, there are your three main characters, and you're just like, well, weird that I ran out of bullets. Or it's not even bullets, it's
That's
magic.
exactly the way it happened. Like, the camera angle didn't change. We watched dozens of people get obliterated, completely.
One guy
just
got
popped.
Kung Fu Panda.
Just completely popped. And then the three, Cassie, Hope, and Scott walk in.
Scott, yeah.
And it just stops.
Yeah. What? What am I gonna do with these characters? They're useless to you. You have billions of them. Billions. You have your engine.
Yeah.
They're useless to you now.
Yep.
Kill. You've killed sets and sets of Avengers. I don't buy it. And you get killed by the power of friendship and a bunch of ants, which I like the ants. I like the armies of ants, but I mean, you get like beat up by that, and then Ant-Man comes up, and you're just like, oh boy, I have to win.
The best part of the movie was when Ant-Man got beat up. Because that was the part that was real. That made sense.
And his mask falls off, and it's got a hole in it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they're gonna do this. They're gonna kill Ant-Man.
They were never gonna kill Ant-Man.
I mean,
he's not ready.
Like it, visually.
He hasn't been in enough.
I mean, visually, it looked like they were like going for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His mask drops. He's getting beat. He's like, oh. And then Deus Ex Machina comes in. It's just like, I'm coming in. And then I thought they were going to be stuck in the quantum realm because the
that
portal
would have been
closes.
interesting.
They're
That would
stuck
have been
in the
cool.
quantum realm again. And, you know, it would have been cool to see Cassie develop another thing and, like, be very careful. And
That could have been a show for Cassie. Trying to get her dad back.
And actually giving her some character development, please.
That would have been such a good idea.
I want to see this character
At this
written
point, we just
well.
need to be working there. We just need to be like, you guys are all dumb.
Oh, this is actually the scene. Yeah, this is the scene that we're talking about where he just stops zapping.
I just turned to look.
It's been a long day, I guess.
Anyway, guys.
I don't know. Give Cassie some character development. I don't know.
That should have been the movie.
I want to see her more. But,
Yeah, me too.
But I want to see her better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I ragged on her so much, but she was just probably my second least favorite part of the movie.
I like Hope too, kind of, but she was so irrelevant. She didn't do anything.
Janet barely did anything, and she's supposed to know all about the quantum realm. And all she did was like, I don't know. Why are you asking me?
No, she didn't do that. What did she do, Garrett? Tell the truth.
She told him to put his hands in the thing. She talked to Bill Murray for a second, and Cassie and Hank were the ones that, or not Cassie, Hope and Hank were the ones that commandeered the ship.
Okay, why was she there? What was her plot?
What was her plot? Oh yeah, with like Kang, but that didn't come into play at all.
I mean, it kind of did. I mean, she's the only one who knows where he may be or what he's looking for, where the object he's looking for. She doesn't. Nobody knows.
She doesn't even know where he is. She asked Bill Murray that.
Okay. No, she asked where Scott and Cassie are. But she knows where the orb thingy is. She's the only person who does.
Cassie and Scott got there without her.
No, Cassie and Scott got there because of Kang.
Without her.
So Kang and Janet are the only two people who know where it is. So the only person who could have taken...
Why couldn't they just have not had Janet there? Kang and Cassie would have been brought there no matter what. Even if
okay, then nobody would have been there to save them.
Hank would have been there to save them.
Hank couldn't have gotten there without Janet.
They were all just standing in the room.
In what room?
Like, that's another thing. Like, why'd they have to be separated?
Cassie and Scott and the other three?
They could have removed...
For the exact reason you said, Garrett.
But they could have removed Janet. Had them all come in together.
They can't remove Janet. Janet is too important to this plot to remove her. I'm saying Hank and Hope should not have been there.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Janet is way too important to this plot. Janet is the only person who knows anything about the quantum realm.
Which she's very reluctant to share.
She's reluctant to share, but she's still guiding them everywhere. She got the ship. She knows what everything is. She made them drink the juice. She told him how to drive the ship. She told them where to find the orb thingy. Janet had to be there. Granted, Janet would have been alone, which makes sense why they brought Hank and Scott, or Hope, but still.
But if Scott, Cassie, Hank, and Hope would have all been sucked in together.
Scott, Cassie, Hank, and Hope. Okay.
Right?
Without Janet.
Without Janet. Right? What would have happened? It would have been a way more interesting movie, in my opinion, because Janet's not there to inform them about anything. They would have found out a lot of stuff on their own without Janet just like mysteriously telling them to keep their voice down and then yelling. But like, you know what I mean? And they would like Hank, Cassie, all those four characters would have drank the goo, would have been taken by Kang. King would have asked them to do what they're told, or like do the thing with the thing, and they don't know what it is. Someone could have found out what it is, like through, MODOK or something, or, and, found out what he's up to.
Okay.
So the only thing that Janet did was know the motive of Kang, which they could have found out on their own, and guided them together, which I think...
Whoa. Pause. All of the information that Janet has on Kang, they would not have figured that out.
You show the flashback of her touching the mind and like getting that flashback.
Okay.
And don't show the flashback. Just show that she's terrified.
How would she have seen
No. This is a way better movie. This is a way better movie.
Who would have seen the flashback?
This is a way better movie.
We would have seen the flashback and the characters have no idea what's going on.
This is a way better movie.
Garrett! No. It's not.
You start the movie with the flashback of her and Kang.
Okay.
We're privy to this knowledge.
Okay.
You show the whole thing.
No, I'm scratching my lip.
You show the whole thing, right? You show her grabbing the orb. You don't show what she sees in Kang's mind.
Okay.
She's terrified.
Okay.
She backs up.
Okay.
She blows up the thing.
Okay.
It's great.
All right.
The rest of the events happen where Hank and Cassie and Hope and Scott are all together. The events that happen to Cassie and Scott happen to the whole crew, so they all drink the goo. They all get taken by Kang. They're all greeted by MODOK. They're all imprisoned, right?
Okay.
Kang makes a more interesting offer to Scott, which is like, I'll save your entire family. You can just go back. That's a bit higher stakes for Scott. I know that his daughter's already pretty high stakes, but it's a bit more mysterious. So it's like, why are you just letting us all go? We're a threat to you.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay.
So Scott goes, does all the stuff he does. Janet or someone finds out through MODOK or some means like what Kang is up to.
That can't happen. That's impossible.
MODOK changes sides already at the end of the movie.
No, that's not what I mean. Janet is in real, like in the human world, right?
Oh, not Janet. I mean Hope.
Oh, okay.
I mean Hope. Someone on their team finds out what MODOK's up to, which happens all the time in superhero movies. Like Cassie was just standing next to Kang the whole time. She could have just been like, someone could have been shrunk down and ran away. You know what I mean? Something could have happened. I'm not sure on that part. Okay, Scott goes to get the MacGuffin, right? He grabs the MacGuffin, and in that moment, he also sees what Janet saw in the flashback. You show Kang destroying worlds. You might even show Kang before that as like a benevolent force. Of like, oh, I'll let you go or whatever if you just give me this thing. He grabs the thing, and he's like, oh, these stakes are so high, shrinks it down, or doesn't, destroys it. And the rest of the movie, the end of the movie, the third act is just identical. You get rid of a bad performance from Janet. You get rid of a lot of just fluff with Bill Murray and all that stuff. None of that made sense anyway. You get rid of that awkward scene where she's like, it would have been more interesting to see a group of people that didn't know what was going on instead of a group of people that didn't know what was going on and one person who does but won't say anything.
To be fair, with your plot in mind, we also don't need Hank or Hope.
Yeah, we don't. That's fine. I'm good without them too. I'm good with as few people in this movie as possible. Could have just been 2 characters carrying this whole thing.
But we wouldn't have gotten a lot of world building.
The world was boring.
It was not boring.
It was boring, generic sci-fi stuff.
Oh my gosh, this has never been seen in the MCU.
Oh, this has been seen in a billion movies.
It's never been seen in the MCU.
Yeah,
this is now canon in the MCU.
Alien worlds have been seen in the MCU all the time. It looked like any other planet that Thor would have visited. Yes, it really did. It just looked like generic space.
I can't give good examples, so I can't really argue with you about this, but it didn't. It was better, slightly. But
I think it was slightly more.
It was just, it just reminded me of Star Wars, but it didn't, but because the movie was bad, you're just like, oh, it did a disservice to Star Wars.
It didn't do a disservice to Star Wars. I think it was just bad design. It was bad sci-fi.
This is a really long episode.
Generic.
We have to go. I'm going to continue arguing with him about this. But see who let's put this up to the comments. Who do you agree with? Was the world building kind of cool? Because it kind of is. Or
generic sci-fi.
It's not that. Garrett, what is generic sci-fi to you? It's just sci-fi.
It's
Well, okay, sci-fi is fiction, first of all.
I know sci-fi is fiction. That's what fiction. That's what the file
I'm aware.
Let's look up modern sci-fi. You go to images. All right, we've got some Rusty Worlds. We've got some of this going on. There's like video games and stuff. I'm looking for like movies. Let me look up movies. Oh, there's like Planet of the Apes and stuff. I mean, like space. Come on, guys. You're not right.
I am.
All right. Thor, space, scene. I don't know. Like, what's different? That could have been.
Garrett, this is okay. First of all, no. Literally, your point. I'm starting to think about this more and more. Your point is like it's wrong. Like. There's nothing in the MCU that's like this.
Not in the MCU.
The way that the trees are, they're all living things. Like the way that everything is like kind of alive. The buildings are alive. Everything is alive. That's unseen in a lot of sci-fi. There's nothing that I know of.
What's inspired about this?
Okay, I'm not talking about that.
That's the movie.
No, okay. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where Cassie and Scott were. And where Janet, Hope, and Hank find themselves at, in that little restaurant bar thingy. Those are characters that are very different than what we've seen ever.
That looks like the setting of Andor.
He's just gonna argue with me. Never mind. You know what? I give up. All right, you win. You win. It's okay. You got it. Good job, buddy. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm sorry. That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke.
You don't have to be so like.
I'm kidding. I'm only joking. I promise. I'm sorry. I didn't.
You good?
Yeah. Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's. I found it.
I don't know what this looks like or anything about this. I was talking about like the plant life and the houses and the buildings being alive and they're having weapons, the telepath, the little jelly guy that we've literally never seen anywhere else before. I don't see where, like, I don't understand.
I think that's just kind of like overplayed.
Where?
I mean, it just seems like any other like innovations that they make in sci-fi, which is just like these CGI creatures that all look different, and each design is unique, but we never really focus on one too much.
Haven't we had so many disagreements about this exact thing, saying everything's the same, everything's too like
and
similar?
This is more of the same.
No, it's not. This is the exact. You just said everything's different.
Yeah, every character is different in everything now. There's like 2 characters that share a design, and there's 2 characters that share design, and then maybe there's 3 characters that share design, but they're all like way different sentient creatures that are all humanoid. You know what I mean? Like there's too many different things going on. It's too much. It's too loud.
So what would you rather have had?
I would have rather had not this movie.
I'm talking about the setting.
It would have been interesting to see maybe like something not based in like just. It looked too sci-fi-y, like spacey, space-esque. You know what I mean? I don't know what I would have rather had. I'm not a designer. I just didn't like it. It seemed like I had seen it all before. Maybe I haven't. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is all like new and exciting, but it's
not necessarily exciting. I wouldn't say that. It's just different.
It might be, but I feel like I've seen it before. I feel like when I'm sitting there, I'm just like, this again. Like it just is a feeling.
This isn't anything that anybody has seen before. That's like the whole thing is like, Janet knows all of this. This is familiar to Janet, but it's not. To everybody else is like, Hank even says it in the movie, like, this is what you'd been seeing for 30 years, and you never told anybody. This movie could have been so much better.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I vehemently disagree with you about the setting, because every setting in every MCU movie ever is just the world. It's America. It's Earth. That's it. We just have Earth, and we have whatchamacallit? Thor's homeworld.
Yeah, Asgard.
And then
space.
What's his face's or Loki's homeworld.
Yeah.
Pretty much all we've seen, and then we've seen a few things in Guardians, but nothing that looked like that. And Guardians, if anything, had more of like the Star Wars-y, like, scene. But it's still, like, everything in Guardians and everything here looked completely different.
Yeah, I mean, in Guardians and all this stuff, but I see a lot of sci-fi movies, like, just advertised, and I just didn't like the aesthetic. I thought it was overplayed, I thought it was boring, I thought it was bland. I didn't like it at all. Like, I looked at it, the whole movie, I was like, I've seen this. I don't know where, maybe I can't name a whole lot of places off the top of my head. I mean, Eric and Tyler were just spouting them out when we were talking. They were like, oh, it looks like this. Oh, and this thing looked like that. Oh, and this thing looked like that. They're way more well-versed in sci-fi.
But isn't that movies as a whole? Like, isn't that, like, inspiration taken from other places? That's just...
Yeah, there's the difference between inspiration and just, like, kind of, not really copying, but just lazy rip-offs.
I don't see how any of the characters we've seen, like the Jelly Man, the Telepath, and the Warrior Lady. Warrior Lady did look a lot like Valkyrie, and I really didn't like that. But the Telepath and the iron
cool.
face head guy, the guy with just the gun as a head, basically.
Yeah.
And then the houses. The houses were really cool. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I was like, they move and they shoot. They're not just houses. They don't just hold people. They move and shoot and they attack, and they're sentient beings.
I feel like we should have focused more on the things that we both didn't like. The whole episode.
Why? We can't do that, Garrett. That's doing a disservice to critiquing.
I don't know. I hated it.
It's not a 0 out of 10. Yeah, you can dislike it. You hate everything, though.
I don't hate everything.
Yes, you kind of do. You don't like a lot of things.
I like the last movie we watched. I liked Dune. I like good movies. I liked Spider-Man.
You know what I'm talking about.
I'm critical. I mean, what do you want me to do?
But that's the problem.
Film review show?
No. Critical still has to come with, there are good things.
Yeah, I think there are, and I said a few. I liked MODOK's design.
Oh my God.
All right. Maybe this episode wasn't our best. I'm sorry, y'all.
I think it was extremely entertaining. I actually think it was one of our best.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, happy birthday to me.
No. You get happy birthday tomorrow because they won't see this until tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy 300.
I get to say happy birthday. They don't get to say happy birthday.
Happy 364 days to my birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you guys have to type in the comment section or else it doesn't work.
364 days to my birthday. You see, the difference between our numbers are not that.
Oh, I meant to put up. Haha. It's not that. Garrett, it is a bad movie.
Yeah, it is.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to point out
This
the
is
good
like a
things.
45-minute long episode, I feel like.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. It's just.
Sorry.
You can't just say bad things about a movie.
Yeah. I know. I said I like Modoc's design.
Oh my God, are you still?
Modoc's design was my favorite. I like parts of the movie. I like the scene when AntMan has all his multiple selves.
I didn't like that.
I like the visuals of
Well,
when...
I like the little Baskin Robin one.
I like the visuals of when like they grab each other's hands and then they all get like sucked up into themselves, you know?
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty
I didn't
sick.
like Hope being there.
I didn't like... I mean, like I said, I feel like it could have been done with so few characters.
It definitely could have.
Like, so there's fat. There's fat in the casting design. Like, there's fat in the, like... There's just stuff that you could cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's fat to cut, and they're just like not doing it well. The writing is choppy and the casting is not great, obviously. The performances were trash for a lot of the cases.
I'm sorry, I can't think of anything. And we've already been here way too long.
3 ants out of 10 men.
4.5 out of 10.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
being lame, I know. I was thinking about drawing the little houses that shoot people, and
But
then
they
a
look too much
Modoc.
like wieners.
They kind of look like cactuses.
Maybe I need to go to the doctor. Well,
No, I don't think you need to go to the doctor. I think you need to stop just thinking everything is bad in the movie. You're just like, those things are dumb because they look like, what did you say?
the wieners?
They look like wieners. Bad wieners.
You know my opinion on wieners. I love hot dogs.
They look like cactuses.
Cacti.
They look like little, and they go pew pew.
Yeah. We ended this on a good note, I feel like. Didn't we? You're hating. You got the odds that you're going to tell me something.
No!
All right. Bye, y'all. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Garrett. Goodbye. We'll see you guys next week.
Goodbye.
I don't know what we're going to talk about, though.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Ooh.